Come on in. I just got done talking to your mom here a little bit ago. Come on in and have a seat. Get comfortable. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. All right. So what brings you in today?
Well, I'm 16. My mom you talked to is my adoptive mother. And I'm just, struggling. I find myself in a private school where I don't necessarily fit in, given where I've come from. And, the family that I'm with is great. I have a brother who's their biological son, and, they give me anything and everything I could ask for. It's just I'm not in a place where I necessarily feel like I fit in, whether it be my family or the private school I go to. It's not necessarily who I am, or it makes me angry, and I'm not sure why it does. It gives me anxiety at times.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you want to share with me?
Well, I do have a history of self-harm.
Okay. Is that something that's currently an issue for you?
Not necessarily at this point. It is sometimes how I deal with, the anxiety and the anger with feeling displaced, I guess you could say.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mikey, for being so honest with me about, some of your struggles and some of the issues that you're going through. I want to let you know that your mom did mention some of these things, to me as well when she came in to sign for your consent. But I wanted to be able to meet with you today, talk to you a little bit more about some ideas I have for treatment. We're going to work on some goals and see what we can do to get you feeling a little bit better. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay, great. So I have an idea. I want to play a game. Now, you might be a little too old for this game since you're 16, but it's Uno. Do you like that game? Do you remember that game?
I like Uno.
Okay, so you're going to take a stack. I'm going to take a stack. And then what we're going to do is this is an intervention that we use in therapy. So it's going to be an emotion game. I want you to, for every card we turn over, you're going to talk about an emotion for me. So we're going to do yellow for happy, red for angry, blue for sad, and orange for something that makes you anxious. So I want you to just talk about your emotions a little bit, and we're going to run through that and see how we can use this activity to help you better address those feelings. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay, great. So I'm going to have you go first since you're the client.
I don't have all of them, but we'll go blue. What makes me sad is that I don't get good grades even though I'm in a good school.
Okay, I can understand how you can be sad when you're not getting the grades you want to get. Is that something you've talked to a teacher about? Are you doing tutoring to help? What's helping you with that currently?
It's nothing that I've given much thought, but tutoring would probably be a good first step.
Okay, is that something that we can talk to mom about, and maybe you can consider doing tutoring after school one day?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, great. So I guess it's my turn, but here's the trick. When I lay down a card, I want you to talk about the emotion. Okay? Sound good? Okay, we're going to do orange. You remember what that is?
I don't remember orange. Was that happy?
Anxious.
Anxious.
Yeah, why don't you talk to me about your anxiety a little bit more?
Anxiety probably comes from not fitting in at school, the private school that I go to. I feel as if I'm not born into it, so it puts me in a different position even if I'm adopted into it. So it makes me feel anxious.
That makes sense. You know, when you're put into a situation sometimes that you're not familiar with, or you don't feel like you necessarily fit the mold of what everybody else is expecting of you, it can make you feel really anxious and not sure of, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe I don't make the right friends because of this. Maybe I'm going to fail because of this, and I don't want to let my new family down. Is that kind of what you're feeling a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, that probably fits.
Okay. So that makes sense. So we're going to explore that a little bit further, but let's talk about some other emotions first. You got another card for me?
Well, I have a wild card and I'll do yellow.
Okay.
That was happy, right?
That's happy. So what makes you happy, Mikey? What are things that bring you pleasure or put a smile on your face?
I'd say being outside.
Okay. What do you like to do when you go outside?
I like to hike. I like to mostly do things that I can do on my own that I don't need anybody else with to do it.
Okay. What about your family? Do they ever do your activities outside with you? Do you do family walks or go for family hikes or participate in any activities like that?
Sometimes, but maybe it's something that could happen more.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit more about your relationship with your adoptive brother.
It almost feels like a kid from school.
Okay.
Where
so you're not as comfortable.
Not as comfortable.
Okay.
It's, I guess, a work in progress.
A work in progress. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So let's see. We have one emotion left. And we're on yellow right now. So I'm going to put down another wild card. And I want you to talk to me about anger. The color red.
Anger.
What does your anger look like for you? If you were to describe it, what does it look like?
It'd probably be part of that self-harm where I'm angry with what's not going right or what could go better, and it's not something that I am vocal about, I guess, to my parents or teachers at school. It's more self-contained anger.
Okay, that makes sense. So thank you for exploring that a little bit further. I want to discuss with you this other intervention that we have in therapy. So I know your mom talked. Are you good with the game? I think we're good with the game.
Good with the game.
Okay, we talked about all the emotions. So that was the main point. Now I want to explore a little bit further with you. So your mom mentioned that the last time you self-harmed was last fall. Is that something that you feel like you're still using as a coping mechanism?
Not necessarily. At this time, when it is something that I'm doing, I feel like it's the only thing that makes sense of how to deal with how I'm feeling.
Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about that further. With self-harm and with having anxiety, sometimes that can lead to thoughts of suicide. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to be alive to deal with this. Is suicide a problem? Like, do you have thoughts of suicide? Is it an issue for you in any way?
I can say that I've never thought of it in my life, but definitely not at the current moment or
Okay.
time.
So it's really important for you to be aware of those emotions. If you ever feel, that your anxiety is just too much, you're thinking about self-harm, I really want you to reach out to mom. I want you to reach out to a safe adult, even if it's somebody at school. Your mom will have my contact information as well. So I just want you to know how important it is for you to just be honest and open about those feelings of, too much anxiety. Maybe I'm thinking about suicide, because there's resources and people that are in place to help you with those sorts of things. So another intervention I want to discuss with you today is DBT. Have you ever heard of DBT?
I have not heard of DBT.
So DBT is dialectical behavior therapy, and it helps us live a life that's worth living. It is a technique in therapy that we utilize to regulate our emotions. It is a form of cognitive behavioral therapy as well. And so I feel like you would really benefit from that. Like what you're doing here with me today is just regular outpatient therapy. I'm going to have you meet with me every other week. And then what I would like to do is, so we have a group of teenagers that meet every Thursday night for DBT. And I think you would be a really great candidate for that. You could join us for group 1 week, and then the next week you would meet with me privately, and then we would do group and then privately, and we would just alternate the type of therapies that you're getting. But with dialectical behavior therapy, I feel like you would really get a lot of use out of that and find a life that is worth living, find a life that is more meaningful to help you regulate those emotions of you feeling sad and you don't know why, or you're feeling anxious and you don't know why, or you're feeling displaced and uncomfortable, or you're not feeling like you belong necessarily in the family that you have. How does that sound?
I think that sounds like a good plan.
Are you open to that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to make the arrangements with your mom. And what's really great about this group is that you will meet with other teenagers, and, they come from all walks of life. So you'll find, I know you have trouble making friends at school, but maybe this is more your group. So these are people that are maybe having the same struggles that you're having, and they're going to be able to help you navigate those as well. So it's fun, it's interactive, it's kind of cheesy, but you're going to meet with a great therapist I work with. She's a great colleague of mine. Her name is Katie, and so she'll be running group, and then you'll meet with me every other week after that.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
All right. So do you have anything else that you want to touch base with me about today?
No, I think that's it for today.
Okay, Mikey, it was really nice meeting you. Thank you so much.